Okay, I just finished putting out the new comic books, and man, what a week for comics. There's so much to go over here, and it all starts with the absolutely fabulous Absolute Batman number 13, finally introducing the Absolute Catwoman. All of those stories coming together, all leading up to this that's coming up. Which kicks off this week, but we'll get to that. Long Halloween, the last Halloween, the Jeff Loeb story continues. And so this is the preview. This has been out here for I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks or something like that. Now we still have a handful of those left. But here's the real deal. KO, it's the first of the storyline. It's the beginning of the battles, and we have the card for the first round of battles, and we know who they'll be. You can look that up now. Just a ton of different great covers. There's a shiny one. If obviously we like the shiny stuff. There's a really great acetate cover, and I'll show you how you can win one of those here in a minute. But there's just a great little selection of different covers, and we tried to get a handful of them. We didn't go too deep, but we made sure to get a few, and we have a few incentives as well. So if you see something that's cool, something up. Those guys that got back there got shuffled out of the way. We'll just put them right over there. But yeah, if you see something there, there's a bunch of different stuff to choose from. If that doesn't do it for you, and I'm not sure why it wouldn't, there are others, including some ratio variants. New History of DCU number 3 that continues, and wow, what a great given that they're in the process of sort of recreating the DCU, that might be a handy little primer to get involved with there. One more issue to go with that. Marvel, no slouch this week at all. In fact, the stack for Marvel stuff was just a bit silly. Brand new Amazing Spider-Man. It's called Torn. Some wonderful covers here as well. A shiny one, as always, for people to get into. I wanted to point out these because there are a few of these, the 70th anniversary Muppets covers. There's another one here I'll show you in a minute, the homage cover to Hulk 340. I know it's been done over and over again, but wait until you see this one. That's great. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man, right, or Amazing Fantasy number 15, and that's that cover. That's Spider-Man, it's classic, And there was this one for Avengers as well this week. It's obviously all of the members of the band. It's Janet and Animal and Dr. Teeth, and just some really cool ones. I'll show you the other one here in a minute. There's a ton of Marvel stuff. Imperial War continues with Imperial Guardians, and I still have a handful of other Imperial books here as well. Some Centurion, I think some Black Panther, and there might be even one more She-Hulk, World of She-Hulk, She-Hulk, World War, I don't know, whatever it is. Planet She-Hulk, it's something like that. I think they're all one shots to go with the Imperial storyline ultimately. Marvel, the whole universe gets the black, white, and blood treatment, and this time guts. It's horror stories, Halloween stories. So what did they couch it as? What was the tagline on the way? Oh yeah, in this issue, a cavalcade of creepiness from comics' most chilling creators. So there you go. If that doesn't tell you what's going on in there, you'll actually have to pick the thing up and read it. Planet Hulk, it's the return to Planet Hulk. I don't think that needs any explanation, does it? If you know Planet Hulk, you know where that one's headed, or at least where it's beginning anyway. You may not know where it goes, but you know where it starts. Han Solo, Hunt for the Falcon continues, and this is the storyline that is just before Force Awakens. So that's really cool. Just a story to fill in there, and I guess you could call it the last Han Solo story. I don't know how much more they could squeeze in there before he's actually killed. That's not a spoiler, right? You knew that Han Solo was dead. New Strange Tales, that's awesome as well. Picked up some of these replacements. So the last couple of weeks we'd had some stuff damaged, and that's why I was, reiterating that you need to sign up for the pulls if you really want to get some of this stuff. And even then, sometimes it doesn't matter because they come in broken. Damaged, broken. And that happened to some of our Spider-Man Noir. That was the case. And so, that one's back on. There was a couple others. I think Skinbreaker was one that we were missing a few. And so there's a couple of those back on the shelf. Same with the Simon Krasinski, No Man's Land. That was another one that we just had a number of them that were damaged, and so they just have been replaced. So here's what I wanted to show you. It's been done a million times, but has it been done with the Swedish Chef before? You can blame me for having copies of that one for sure, because I had, Wolverine. I had to have that, but that's great. Just a wonderful little homage cover. Punisher gets a new story inside the world to come. The Marvel Knights new reshaping universe there. I have one of those left for you. And then I have a number of obviously the new one that'll, they may or may not be here when you get here. I have one of, so this is another Punisher story. And you know what, guys? I get it. I understand. Here, I'm the first to, praise capitalism and the generality of the ability of all of us to create our own wealth, generate our own wealth, spend our own wealth in the ways that we see fit, ultimately. And I get it. So these guys, they have an abundance of creators and people who want to produce stories, and they have a need to produce stories, to produce money, to satisfy shareholders, and to pay paychecks. But the fact is, guys, and this is a shrinking market, you didn't have to release these storylines at the same time. You didn't have to make Punisher people chase 3 different stories, 3 different Punisher titles at the same time. This 2 of them, I assume the regular title is still going, or is on hiatus, or is relaunched. You just never know. They're always doing stuff like that. But there's a finite amount that the people out here are willing to put into it, let alone us people that own the comic book shops that are the ones that get stuck with the excess if we buy too much. That's what it's all key. It's all, you got to sign up for the pull list. Get on the pull list, and that helps us with our orders. So here's the big thing. All of this Marvel stuff, it's finally rolling. We have the Age of Revelation, and there's a bunch of tie-ins. There's one from X-Men. This was one of the books that half of them were damaged last week, and they just replaced them, so we have some Age of Revelation overture. But here's the first week of the whole series, and so the X-Men title is now Amazing X-Men, or was it Exceptional X-Men that became Amazing X-Men? I don't know, but they've all changed for a little while, and there's some new titles. There's a binary title, and there's some great covers. Always, there's a great Magic cover, and her Dark Side there, both at the same time. That's an interesting battle. This is a really cool, neat idea here that goes along with the Age of Revelation stuff. This is Laura Kinney. She's Logan's DNA, and they reimagine her as Sabretooth's DNA, so that's really cool. Long shots, of course, there's Longshot right there himself on the cover. You got some Mojo action, so that storyline is at least familiar in terms of characters and positions and places in the universe, even if it is this Age of Revelation stuff that's obviously different and not necessarily mainstream storyline, not 616 storyline, whatever it happens to be. I thought this was great, though. This is one of my favorites. This is one of the most important characters in the Marvel Universe, whether you know it or not, and she has one of the most interesting stories in the Marvel Universe because she existed before the Marvel Universe, before all of these things that we call the Marvel Universe, and she's the only character that actually made it pre-Marvel into the Marvel Universe, and she made it as a person, as a story, and as a superhero. So just a great and then you flip on that and you see, all right, well, there's definitely some weird stuff going on there, because there she is getting married to Scott. That's what it looks like. World of Revelation as well. There's new Black Panther. So you got the Ultimate stuff. I mean, guys, come on, you're killing me. There's so much. There's some more Godzilla. Great new universe shaping up there. Yeah, I'm the one to challenge. I'll do it anytime. Number 1, great sales. I'm not impressed. Number 3, great sales. I'm impressed. The guy in the chair, this looks really great. This is, people here in Shawnee County know that there's people like this, that there's somebody like this. It's always sitting there sort of monitoring what's going on around the city, because we have a network of cameras around the county. We have a network of cameras that are monitored in real time. They've talked about it before. Yeah, that's right. Big Brother is watching you. Here's the best. Harley Quinn and Elvira. I mean, what more needs to be said? Oh, yeah. Palmiotti and Connor. Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, the husband-wife team that are most responsible for what we know as Harley Quinn for sure. And great little team up here under Dynamite's label with Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark. So that's cool. Oh, you recognize that art, don't you? Yep, that's a Sears cover. Come and get it before they're all gone. There's a few covers to choose from on this one as well. We didn't go too deep, but we did grab a few because how are you going to pass up on a Linsner cover, right? You have to get as many of them as you can, and especially if it's characters like this that he's not necessarily want to draw. It's not going to have. There's some blank ones. We got to share for you. Some ratio ones as well. A couple other great books. There's a bunch of stuff in here. There was so much new stuff. There just wasn't any room for it. There's Red Book. That's the Tinian story. It's number 1. They did Blue Book here over the last couple of years. They did a couple of series on Blue Book, and those were American stories and tales about UFOs, loosely, if not entirely based on real stories. And this is, China and Russia and the Reds. Little Nightmares, Descent to Nowhere. They get a second title for the video game storyline there. High Strangeness. Unfortunately, I don't know what that one's about. I can't help you out yet. Super Creep Show, whatever you get to say. There's that fantastic Dark Knight cover right there. Transformers number 25 is out. We have a few ratios on that. Something is Killing the Children gets another story. It's a monster hunter walks into a bar, and that's more Tynian. That's more James Tynian. And so, just a last thought about the list. So, getting on the pull list. You sign up for the pull list, and you get 20% off cover price. And you can, when you sign up now for one, you'll be entered to win this little collection. So we got this shiny preview. It's like a 8-page comic book that normally costs like $10. And there's one of the sealed lights out poly bags. It's a blind bag special. I believe it's a 1 per store. They only send us one of them anyway. And it is named differently than in any of the other poly bags that we've seen pop up. And so it's a special edition in there. And then, of course, that's the acetate cover, just the regular series that's just started. That's the ones that I was showing over there. I didn't focus on it too much because I wanted to come over here and point out that it's there. And that's also for anyone who adds a new title. If you're already on a pull list, you can add a new title and you'll be entered to win those as well. The whole collection, all 3 of those books, great big prize for the month of October. And so do us a huge favor and click that like button, and all of this will be here or it won't when you get here.